Hello, I'm Mark Ells, Town Manager in Barnstable, and this is my community update. We are still moving through the recovery phase of the COVID-19 situation. You have probably been listening to the news reports relevant to our governor beginning to release many of his orders incrementally, basically looking at where we are on this curve of positive COVID virus cases in Massachusetts. We look at it the same here on Cape Cod and certainly in the town of Barnstable. I believe we're on our seventh day of no cases, no new cases. So that's a good thing. It certainly isn't a trend yet, but it's certainly positive for us. Uh, we are looking at reopening our facilities and allowing our community to get back to life. Not life as we used to live it 4 months ago necessarily, but certainly back to enjoying all those things in our community that we look forward to once we, certainly get to the month of June and beyond. Unfortunately, we had to postpone our fireworks till Labor Day, and there won't be any parades until later stages in this recovery as per the governor's order. We are opening many of our facilities in the community. And I guess my request to you all is personal responsibility. Think about what that means to you in this situation. Utilizing proper distancing, wearing a mask when you can't, um, refraining from doing things, certainly, if you are uncomfortable in doing those things. As we open our beaches on June 27th, there'll be more challenge for us because not only will it be our community who is partaking in enjoying our beaches, but we will have others from other communities and states even who may have different orders and may have a different situation from wherever they're coming. So, be knowing of that. We will be out there doing our best to ask our public to communicate with them regularly, that we basically want them to take personal responsibility. We want them to adhere to proper distancing. And if you can't, wear a mask. And that's the way we're going to manage this through the summer. It's been very successful because of the participation and support of our community so far. We've had minimal closures of facilities. I hope we don't have to close anymore. If needed, we will. We have and we will. But our intent is to allow people to go back to life, to their life. We're working actively with our business community. I would have to say it's about 95% of the feedback we've gotten about our Main Street going down to one lane and one row of parking, and opening up the other for expansion of business onto the sidewalk and for pedestrians in what was a travel lane and some parking. We've received very positive feedback, and then we've received a very small amount of fairly significant negative feedback, not liking it at all. So, this is a pilot test. There were multiple ways to approach this. We met with our businesses and our community on a short timeline, given, many of you who have been here a while know that sometimes we can talk for years about modifications. We've done this in weeks. And we want to hear from you. It's a pilot. We'll see how it works. Certainly, if we find anything unsafe, we will modify. But we're going to see how it goes. We're working with our businesses also to modify their permitting so that they can utilize this space to safely provide service. And again, get back to life. It certainly isn't the way we've done it in the past. Maybe it'll be in some form or another the way we do it in the future. We'll have to see how the coming weeks and months unfold for us on this. On Thursday night, we are moving forward with our operating budget in the town of Barnstable. And at this point, we're doing that with our town council. our town council, the town manager submits the operating budget on an annual basis and capital budget to our town council for consideration. It's a proposed budget. The council takes it under review, and they can approve the budget or they can modify it by decreasing it. They cannot increase it on the floor of the council, during the budget. Coming into this, we're confronted with this pandemic, and the town took immediate action to control spending. Following the state emergency declared by our Commonwealth, we implemented a hiring freeze, began deferring discretionary spending, reduced the FY21 operating budget. Originally, we had prepared an entirely different budget that really was increasing programs and services based on the demands of our community to do so. We also had a larger capital budget, which has already been submitted and approved in a significantly reduced form by our town council. We basically reduced it from a $39 million capital budget to a $12.2 million capital budget. These were all necessary steps taken in order to generate reserves and to protect the town from committing to a potentially unsustainable spending plan. The fiscal impacts of what is occurring is rapidly shifting to not only a health issue, but an economic one as well. And we are well in that mode at this point. As a result of these actions and the historical comprehensive financial leadership directed by our town council and implemented by the town manager and respective staff, we've established strong reserve fund levels in our community that allow for budgetary options going forward under these conditions. Maintaining the quality of life is at the core of what we do. That's at the core of our mission statement here in the town of Barnstable. And certainly doing it in a way that provides sound fiscal management, especially during an economic downturn, is a difficult thing to do. But that is at the core. We look for quality of life in a fiscally stable way, and we try to communicate with our public and with our community and with our leaders and our various groups out there as to what we are doing, why we are doing it. And we listen to them in leading into the budget periods to make sure that the priorities have been identified appropriately and the budget aligns with those priorities. The FY21 proposed operating budget attempts to minimize program and service level reductions while not becoming overly dependent on the use of reserves to provide municipal programs and services. We will impact our services in town in FY21 because we are not projecting that we will have the same level of revenues that we were projecting 6 months ago. We've modified our budgets, and that will be the budgets, the municipal budgets presented to our town council. I encourage you all to view this, participate if you would like, but certainly view it. You can watch it on Channel 18. You can call in, or you can join the Zoom of the public hearing if you would like. And certainly there will be subsequent discussions as we move into the commencement of fiscal year 21 that begins on July 1st this summer. So that ends my community update, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the near future. Thank you.